NYWC, I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. After missing Fusion last month, I returned for going the distance. And then what an awesome show it was last night, let me tell you, everybody. We kicked off the show with tag team action as Boats and Hose, Jay Red and Jolly Roger defeated Reckless and Wasted, JT Kaysen and Bryce Young. Bryce Young seems to be getting better in each and every match. Second matchup in the bitter rivalry, so to speak, Braden Knight defeated Flawless Blake Morris on a countout. Braden, you definitely want to make it in this business, kid. And then in another tag team matchup, DJ Hyde and Ryan the Adrenaline Rush defeated Alvin Alvarez and the product, David Starr. This was a very a good matchup, and I have to say Hyde and Rush made a great team. More DJ Hyde and NYWC, please. Next matchup, which it was a match that hasn't happened in 10 years in NYWC, as Mike Mondo defeated Dickie Rods in a very competitive matchup. Up next was more tag team matches. We saw the Beaver Boys, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, defeating the debuting Milk Chocolate, the team of Brandon Watts and Randy Summers. They were doing like a boy band kind of deal, and they actually cut a promo before their match. After the match, Silver and Reynolds offered a handshake because it was Milk Chocolate's first match of the tag team, and I do have to say those kids did work very hard. And even after the respect gesture, Milk Chocolate attacked the Beaver Boys from behind, so maybe there'll be a rematch in an upcoming show. From there, they went to intermission, and it was a very good crowd for this show, by the way. But right after intermission, John Kurtz comes out, announcing he was going to wrestle Frankie Stars, but he had sprained his ankle earlier in the week, and Kurtz put over the fact that Frankie helped him when he broke into business back in the late 90s, and they were like Marines in the service. I don't know if they were in the service together, but they were both Marines, and they made great tag team partners, great opponents for each other. Stars comes out, and, you know, he was able to accept the fact that John was hurt and couldn't do the match. Eventually they hug, and then Stars nails Kurtz right between the eyes with the cane, and eventually King Mega comes out. Stars powders out to the ring, and Mega says, hey, you want to pick on a crippled old man, why don't you pick on me? And that led up to King Mega defeating Frankie Stars in a very quick matchup. After the match, Frankie grabbed Stars, and Kurtz jabbed Frankie with one of his crutches, and it's safe to say that Frankie was seeing stars after that. Up next, we saw Nikki Adams as the referee for this next matchup, which saw Marty Bell defeat Boy Diva Rick Cataldo to retain the Starlet Championship in a bra and panties match. After the match ended, Cataldo and Adams chased Marty underneath the ring and attempted to strip her to her bra and panties, and eventually Matt Justice comes out. I'm sorry. Adams and Cataldo come back in the ring. They supposedly have Marty's bra and panties, but that led to Matt Justice and Jesse Vade attacking Adams and Cataldo, and I think Justice gave Bell his shirt in the meanwhile. But that led up to Matt Justice and Jesse Vade defeating DJ Fat Pat and Francis Kipling Stevens in a very good tag team matchup. Up next, we had the Big O defeated Dan Echoes, Danny E, to retain the heavyweight championship. Danny works very hard in that ring. And then, in a wild and crazy match, pitted four wild and crazy guys, Mikey Whipwreck and Stockade defeated Big Game Swift James and Bill Carr in a double dog collar match to become the new NYWC Tag Team Champions. And at one point, before Carr and James can't hit the ring, Mikey and Stockade pulled out a giant Christmas wreath to be used in the match, and it was just one crazy matchup. And NYWC, I sure hope this show ends up on DVD. I mean, this was a great show. After the match and chaos had ended, the whole locker room comes out and announces to what many have already known, that Big Game Smith James had signed a contract with WWE Developmental, but it turns out Dan Echols also signed a contract with WWE Developmental. So quite a send-off for two guys who really cut their teeth and really plied their trade and worked really hard and broke their backs, busted their asses. I mean, let's face it. Although I'm not a trained wrestler, or I don't know what it's like to pay a fraction of a due in the wrestling business, anybody aspiring to be a wrestler, definitely go to their academy. They know what they're doing. If you make it, that's awesome. If you don't make it to WWE, they still show you the proper way to learn how to do what I see nearly every month at NYWC. All right, it's time for the personal notes. Welcome back to the wonderful, lovely, gorgeous Jessica, who I got to see for the first time in 10 months. Welcome back, Victoria Longton. Great seeing Tony Burma, Crusher Dugan. Welcome back, former ref Andre, who brought his two little boys to the show with him. Nice seeing Aisling, John Kerr, Shane, Neil, Francis. Thank you for that picture during intermission. I know during the match with David Starr, Jessica kept saying Chippendales for some reason. Oh, great talking with Curse and Forge after the show. It's great seeing Dan Acosta, Ryan Peterson, Oliver, Chris, Joey, Steven Scogan, who else was I saw there? Well, I understand they did a show in the afternoon for a little kid's birthday, and that's why the show got pretty much was pushed to 8 p.m. instead of 7, which is normal time. NYWC finally returns to the American Legion in Babylon, New York on Saturday, July 13th, as they present Back to the Grove, which is a fundraiser for the American Legion. That, of course, is walking distance from the Babylon train station, so that's easy for me to get to next month. Could it be me, or is the Order of the Black done? Because Crusher Dugan did not come out with Dickie Rods. I understand Rex Lawless is injured, Apollyon's injured, Victor Cruz didn't wrestle. Ryan Rust had a tag match with DJ High. He came out without Dugan. Also, for some reason, Jesse Vane reminds me of Chris Forza based on the bald head and the physique. Let's see, we didn't have Papa Don, we didn't have, man, a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people were actually missing because they were hurt or they couldn't do the show. Of course, after the show, we got to go down to Twisted Shamrock for some food, and some of the wrestlers were there as well. Didn't get home till I didn't get home till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hmm. Dang it, I can't believe I forgot this. Vitko had come out, I forgot which point in the second half of the show, cutting a promo that he's been forced to apologize to the fans for foul language last month at Fusion. But he said he's not going to do what management says, and he said that with Raven appearing last month was that there was a whole lot more where that came from. I don't know if that means more ECW alumni is coming, or Vitko's going to form form another group, or another Planet Entertainment, or his own group of people. And you know, Forge, I do have to say those shirts, Mikey Whipwreck, do look nice. Apparently, Jason is now the ring announcer for NYWC. Yeah. I guess that's gonna do it. I mean, I'm really stuck for anything else that I could possibly remember. I mean, does anybody out there know a place that sells even bigger notebooks than what I carry? Or do Trapper Keepers exist anymore? Because I remember those when I was a kid going to school. Because, you know, I really need like a bigger, longer sheets of paper so I can remember every bit and piece for these shows that I do. But in any event, what a great show it was, and kick-ass it was. An awesome time for me to come back. Happy Father's Day to every father out there. And NYWC rules.